After the Chinese Civil War ended in 1949, Mao Zedong stood as the unchallenged leader of a new communist China. The nation was poor, divided, and exhausted by decades of war. Yet Mao promised a new beginning, a society built on equality, discipline, and revolutionary spirit. In the early years, land reforms redistributed property, and industries were nationalized. Millions hailed Mao as a hero who had liberated them from oppression. But beneath this wave of hope, famine, fear, and political control were quietly growing. Mao's hunger for transformation would soon push China into one of the most extreme social experiments in modern history. In 1958, Mao launched the Great Leap Forward, a campaign meant to turn China into an industrial superpower overnight. People were ordered into collective farms, backyard furnaces were built to produce steel, and entire villages competed to meet impossible production goals. But the dream turned into a nightmare. Crops rotted, tools melted, and millions starved as the government hid the truth. Historians estimate that up to 45 million people died. When the truth surfaced, Mao's prestige was shaken, and many within the Communist Party began to question his leadership. Refusing to accept decline, Mao struck back in 1966 with the Cultural Revolution. He called on the youth to rise against the capitalist roaders inside the party. Millions of students, known as Red Guards, answered his call. They attacked teachers, officials, and even their own parents in the name of revolution. Schools closed, temples burned, and ancient relics were destroyed. Chaos swept across every city and village. The People's Republic had turned against itself. Mao, watching from Beijing, claimed it was a necessary cleansing, a storm to keep the revolution pure. By 1968, China was trapped in madness. Ordinary citizens lived in fear of public humiliation or execution. Party leaders like Liu Shaoqi were imprisoned and tortured, countless intellectuals were forced into labor camps. The army, under Lin Biao, tried to restore order but became another weapon of control. Entire families were torn apart by suspicion and betrayal. The Cultural Revolution had consumed its own creators, and Mao's image became godlike, his little red book recited like scripture. China had become a nation ruled by fear, loyalty, and illusion. As chaos grew, tensions inside the leadership exploded. Lin Biao, once Mao's trusted general, was accused of plotting against him and died in a mysterious plane crash while allegedly fleeing China. Whether true or not, it revealed how unstable the revolution had become. Premier Zhou Enlai tried to bring calm and maintain foreign relations, while Deng Xiaoping, purged twice by Mao, waited patiently for a chance to rebuild. The nation was broken, education lost, industry ruined, and the spirit of millions shattered. Yet within this darkness, the seeds of a new China were quietly taking root. On September 9, 1976, Mao Zedong died at the age of 82. Across China, millions wept, unsure of what the future would bring. Power immediately shifted to the so-called Gang of Four, Mao's widow Jiang Qing and her radical allies, who tried to continue his legacy. But the nation had grown weary of endless struggle. Within months, the Gang of Four was arrested, ending a decade of cultural destruction. For the first time in a generation, China stood at a crossroads between the shadows of its past and the light of reform. In 1978, Deng Xiaoping returned to power and began reshaping China's destiny. He opened markets, encouraged science and trade, and welcomed the outside world. The same country once trapped in isolation now raced toward modernization. Cities rose, millions escaped poverty, and China emerged as a global power. Yet the scars of the Cultural Revolution never fully healed. Families still whispered of lost loved ones, memories of persecution lingered. From Mao's utopian dream to Deng's pragmatic reforms, China's story became one of tragedy, endurance, and astonishing transformation, a reminder that even in the ruins of history, a nation can rise again.